Bonjour and welcome back to my channel, Claude here. So today I'm going to be doing a VR to Krissie Bentley, to a very interesting tag that she's created called 7 decks for 7 chakras. Now I am a yoga teacher, so obviously when I saw this I thought brilliant, I really want to take part in this. I will leave you a link to her original video in the description box below, because she basically uses a deck that has, if I understand correctly, different colors that represent each chakra, and she pulls a card from the deck which gives her as a daily practice, and that tells her which deck she is going to use according to the color of the chakra, because she's assigned them to each chakra. So as far as I'm concerned, this is obviously not a daily practice for me, but I have selected my 7 decks for each chakra. I think that's really interesting tag, so thank you Krissie for doing that. And let's begin. So the chakras are energy centers, and they deal with the energy on 3 different levels: physical processing, psychological processing, and spiritual processing. I will not talk about the physical side of it. I will concentrate on the psychological and the spiritual process, you know, for the decks, because otherwise it wouldn't make much sense. So for the first chakra, which is Muladhara, or the root chakra, it's associated with the earth element, and it is to do with your sense of safety and security in your life. It deals with primal issues such as survival and your sense of self-identity. I chose the Guardian of the Night Tarot by M.J. Cullinan. Now, the reason why I chose this is because I feel this is a very grounded deck. Let me just zoom in. So I find the cards, I don't know, they make me feel secure and safe. It's all with animals, is probably why, you know, there are no humans. And the color palette is very earthy and nurturing. So I really like this deck, and that's what I felt called to immediately when I was considering the root chakra. With also, you know, the primal issues such as surviving. I felt the animals, you see, particularly like that, the 7 of Swords, that's really appropriate for this one. So if I want to feel safe, secure, if I want a grounding deck, that's the one I would reach for. So that was the first chakra. Now for the second chakra, which is Svadhisthana, or the sacral chakra, this is associated with the element of water, and it deals with your emotional health, your creativity, and any intuitive sense that you may have based on your feelings, such as empathy. So for me, it's going to be an oracle deck this time, and it is the Sea Soul Journeys oracle cards by Piper Best. I'm going to show you the deck. It is stunning. It had to be a water deck for me for this chakra, and I mean, look at that, it's absolutely stunning. So you see things like powerful, may you be as potent as the ocean. Present, may you sense each shiver of the surf. Begin, may you start as if you have already begun. Imagine, may you look beyond what can be seen. This is a deck that touches me very deeply on an emotional level. Now, I was born by the Atlantic Ocean, so I feel kind of lost if I'm not anywhere near an ocean. And lakes don't do it for me. It has to be the ocean. It has to be the salty air. I don't know. It does something to my brain, I suppose. And I just think this deck is very fluid. It speaks to me. It's absolutely stunning, in my opinion, anyway. May you flow with the divine. Enough. May you be exactly as you are. I mean, you can see how. And I don't know, it also helps me feel more creative when I look at this deck. I don't know why. I always feel more creative when I'm nearby the ocean anyway, but this is a very special deck for me. And it makes me feel very deeply. So there you have it. So that was for the sacral chakra with the water element. It also has different backs, by the way, I didn't show you, but it has different backs because they like, you know, in groups. It really is stunning. I really recommend this deck. I've reviewed it on my channel as well. So that was the second one. Now, the third chakra is Manipura, which is your solar plexus, and this is to do with the element of fire. Now, this is the center of energy for your personal power, and that's also your willpower, your self-esteem. And it deals with the intuitive powers linked to your knowledge and experience. And when I want to feel, you know, a little bit of a boost for my willpower, a bit of motivation, and feel self-confident, I reach out for the Archangel Metatron Oracle. This is the only angel oracle deck I have, and I purchased it for a very good reason, because it really does help me in that respect. The book is amazing. You get a lot of guidance with it. I will show you. That's the box, by the way, but I will show you very quickly. The you've got spreads, obviously, but that's not so much what I want to talk to you about. The deck is designed around the following key areas to help you explore any aspect of your life that needs attention, support and guidance. So it uses colors, spiritual principles, teachings, the elements, which I love. I work with the elements all the time, and sacred geometry. So I really like this deck. It's not fluffy, which is my main problem with angel decks, generally speaking. I don't like that. But if you look at it, so for instance, you've got the cards of ancestors, evolution, lilac, the actual color, higher realms and magic, priorities, as above, so below, tree of life. I don't know, when you pick a card and you read the guidance, it empowers me. Transformation, I think that's a very powerful card. Karma, untying the knots. It really is powerful. Fly free, blessings and thanks, retreat, rest. There you go, chakra, light body. It's not fluffy. Madonna and mothering, that's the color blue. Family, letting go, time for release, conquering fear, start today, clarity, go within, yellow, joy and happiness. It's, you know, to me, it's empowering. Obviously, you know, it's always a personal perception, isn't it? But it really works for me. So when I want to feel empowered and I want to get some motivation, that is the deck I would reach for. So that was the third one. So the fourth chakra is Anahata, or the heart chakra. The element is air, and it deals with love, generally speaking, but you know, relationships, your ability to relate and bond with others and the divine. And it also deals with your healing powers and your desire for providing loving service to others. And for this, I've chosen the Earth Warriors Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Now, this is a really, really stunning deck on artwork-wise, but this is a deck that really gets me to think about others in the community, generally speaking. So, progress on the path, stand in the light. The guidebook is amazing. It gives you a lot of explanations and things you can do. Oh yeah, you've got some landscape card as well. That's Pueo, guardian of the Omakua. Empowering grace. So yes, when I feel like I need to work on my connection with others, or on being more of service, more loving, generally speaking, trying to be a better person, that's the deck I reach for. Time to cross the threshold, power awakening. The Sorceress of Life, Honor of the Ancient King. I mean, I obviously the artwork appeals to me, but it's really in the guidebook. It gives you a lot. child of the light. So this speaks to me. So that was the Earth Warrior Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I actually have two of her decks in this VR, funnily enough. Now, the next chakra is the fifth one, and that is Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra. The element is Heather, and it deals with communication, all types of communication, listening and speaking your truth, but listening to others, but also decision making. It also deals with issues of karma, the decision to face your karma or not, and any intuitive gifts linked to speaking and listening. For this, it has to be a Tarot de Marseille for me. This is the Petici Tarot de Marseille. And the reason why I've chosen it is because if I want to make a decision, I need a deck that is going to speak to me very clearly and very bluntly. So I will get a Tarot de Marseille, because sometimes I find that Rider-Waite-Smith type of decks, you know, or with a lot of artwork, they're kind of busy, and I can't always get the clarity that I want. With this kind of cards, I am always very clear about what the message is. I like it to talk to me in a very straight manner, which it does. And I think that Vincent Petici has done a great job at creating his own Tarot de Marseille, following a type 2, more like the Nicolas Conver type of Tarot de Marseille. And yeah, if I have to make a decision, or if I want to speak my truth, I would reach for this deck, you know, or a Tarot de Marseille, just generally speaking, with no fluff, because I find that very, very helpful. And you can see the palette is slightly different with this deck. It's more greens, oranges, rather than the primary colors, which are bright red and blues, which I don't like as much. That's why this is one of my most used Tarot de Marseille, because I really like the color palette, just generally speaking. I think he's done a great job, you know, vintage looking. But yeah, so for the throat chakra, that's the ones I would use. Okay, so we've got two chakras left. So the next one is the chakra number 6. Now obviously, you know, we're using the 7 chakras from the Hindu system. Some people think that they are just 6, so then even more. You know, this is just following the most common way of looking at it. Now for the next one, it is Ajna or Anya, the third eye chakra. The element is light, and it deals with all of the vision and perception of the world, your self-awareness. It's also the center that deals with breaking old patterns, and it rules the intuitive gifts linked to the psychic side, obviously. Now for that, I have chosen the Prism Tarot by Liz Landis, and you'll see why. I'm going to explain it to you. This tarot deck really works for me when I want to get an intuitive hint, because, well, it doesn't look like a normal world. If you look at it, these are just creatures. Like, they have no gender, no race, they're just creatures. And so I get a lot of intuitive hints, because there's not much either in the background, just, you know, the cosmos, planets, stars. That really helps me when I want to really tap into my intuition. Or if I want to question my perception of something, you know, if I'm seeing a circumstance and I see it, for instance, as an issue, and I'm struggling to see the bright side of it, I will tap into that, because this will tell me, it maybe in a softer way, in a way, you know, it detaches from reality, so it makes it easier to process, I suppose. So I personally, yeah, I like that. You can see, you know, there's a lot of space for your intuition here. This is the 3 of Coins. It's not a busy picture. It retains the symbolism, but there's not too much of it. I really like it. The queens are always facing like this with the full moon. Oh, 3/4 moons, should I say. My bad. So yeah, that's the Prism Tarot. And that's to tap into my intuition. And then finally, the last chakra, which is Sacral. This is your crown chakra. Now there is no element associated to this chakra, and it deals with your higher virtues. So, you know, things like hope, truth. It's also the chakra that helps releasing misperceptions, and it's the chakra that is linked to our acceptance of our divinity. It's the defeat of the ego and our connection to the divine, to source, to the creator. And for this, when I want to work on this, I use the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild, which is the second deck from her in this VR. It's coincidental, but yeah. This deck, again, there is an amazing guidebook with it, which is why I tend to use it for that. For each card, for instance, let me show you. Okay, so let's say you've got the Tiger Spirit Rises, you have a paragraph that explains the card, and then there's a long explanation with a healing process here and things that you can do to process the knowledge that you gained from the oracle. And it is stunning. It features a crystal and either an angel, a ascended master, or a goddess. So you've got 3 different suits. So for instance, this one is a crystal master, it tells you at the bottom, and here you've got the rhodochrosite, and then the ascended master, Lady Nada. That's another crystal master. I use those for meditation a lot because I find I find it mesmerizing if you look very closely. Let me show you closely. I really find that they're very good for that, for meditation. You see, that's a goddess card. The masters have got the blue frame and the goddesses are that deep red. But these cards, they're amazing when I want to feel connected to something bigger than myself, if that makes sense. You see, the pink is the crystal angels. So that's when I reach out for them, when I'm reaching for this deeper connection. And it's stunning. To me, the artwork is stunning. The guidebook gives me a lot to think about. It's very good for journaling as well, if you're into that. So there you have it. So that was my 7 decks for 7 chakra. Let me know in the comment box below what you think of this, what you thought of my choices. What about yours? What would you do? Yeah, just talk to me. I love talking tarot, and chakra and tarot for me is a perfect combination. So thank you very much, Krissie, for doing this very fun tag. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And wherever you are on this planet and whenever you're watching this, I wish you all a truly magical day. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I will see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.